775-1193.
Back on Get Down to Business, the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. I'm Shalom Klein, and you can get on my website, shalomklein.com, to download podcasts of Get Down to Business and find out who will be on next week on the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. So thrilled to be joined by Donna More, who is a successful attorney, and for some reason, I assume she's going to tell us why, decided to try to give back to the community by taking her position and now running as a Democrat for Cook County State's Attorney. Donna, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Shalom. I appreciate it.
Well, I know you're busy on the campaign trail, and I know it's a very interesting race. So, Donna, I must ask you that question. Why did you decide to run for elective office? I believe this is your first campaign.
This is my first campaign. I did spend about the first third of my legal career in the public sector, and specifically as an assistant state's attorney and an assistant U.S. attorney. But the criminal justice system, and specifically the state's attorney's office, is broken. I, like everybody else in the county, am distressed at our level of violence. We pick up the paper on Monday morning, or we tune into a news show, and we hear what seems to be a scorecard of how many shootings we've had, how many killings we've had over the weekend. And my 11-year-old is afraid to watch the news because it scares her with all the blood and gore. So
Donna, Cook County, the state of Illinois, is filled with a lot of bureaucracy and frankly, a lot of corruption too, but there's a lot of different offices. Explain to our listeners that might not understand yet where the state's attorney's office falls into trying to make an impact and reduce the violence. What would you be doing different?
Well, the state's attorney's office is the lead prosecutor for Cook County, and we charge and prosecute all criminal cases, misdemeanors and felonies. And to me, what that office is about, it's a very activist position, in my mind. It hasn't been. Our current incumbent, who was not endorsed by the Democratic Party, has been absent for the last 7.5 years. Only to be more active due to competition. But there's two sets of things you can do, Shalom. One is specific to the office. And the first thing is you have to change the office philosophy. It is not just one of convictions. The office needs to be about doing justice. And in doing that, you need to look at our bail policies, how we indict, who we indict.
So we're talking with Donna More, who's running for state's attorney. Donna, do you feel that you'd be able to work well with the Cook County sheriff, with the chief judge here in Cook County?
Yes. I want to sit down at the table on the broader scope to change the criminal justice system, and I want to sit down with all the players, the aldermen, the community groups, the sheriff, as you mentioned, the Cook County board president, the mayor. And I have no history. I have no built-in issues with any of these folks who may have issues with each other. And I believe that I can get them all at a table to talk about this.
And that's not taking place right now, which is really baffling. So, Donna, you mentioned, obviously, you're not the incumbent. You're running against the incumbent. And you mentioned that the incumbent is not endorsed by the Democratic Party. So it sounds like it's really going to be an interesting race. Tell us about the campaign and what reaction you're receiving. It's you're running across Cook County, so it's a pretty. You've got to start up north, all the way at Lake Cook Road, and head all the way south. So what are people telling you?
Well, it's a very interesting race, and people are telling me that they don't trust the Cook County State's Attorney's Office to do the right thing. They're unhappy in general with politics as usual. And, they don't know what to believe anymore because there have been so many broken promises. But the fact that this is my first race, I'm not a politician. I'm an experienced trial lawyer running to do a job, resonates with voters, and fairness resonates with voters. Accountability, transparency, these are all things that have been lacking for the past 7 years.
And most importantly, as you said, it's getting people around the table, whether it's various office holders as well as community stakeholders. I know I've been hearing rumors on the street that you've been around town meeting with a lot of community organizations, visiting a lot of the folks that are loosely associated with criminal justice, and there's so much to learn and so many people to talk to. So the campaign is off to a wild start. There's a few people in the race, and Donna More certainly is a very, very, very viable contender, and it should be an interesting few months ahead. So, Donna, for our listeners that are interested in getting involved in the campaign, how can they get a hold of your campaign staff?
So, if they go to www.voteformore, VOTEFORMORE.com, there's a phone number to call in, and also they can send emails and get information about the campaign and what's going on. So I hope that all the voters of Cook County will join me in making a real difference in people's lives and in the criminal justice system.
Fantastic. Donna More, thanks for joining us on Get Down to Business. And what a fantastic website, Vote for More. I love it because obviously that's what you're hoping to provide for the voters of Cook County.
It's shocking that I didn't run earlier, Shalom.
Yeah, well, with a name like that, absolutely. Well, Donna, once again, thanks for joining us on the program. We'll be sure to check back in with you soon. After the break, as promised, I'm going to be providing some tips on public speaking. Public speaking, I say this all the time, is not just for the folks that actually are public speakers. We all present all the time, and you need to be polished on how to make a good first impression. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR. Check them out at tandemhr.com. Don't touch that dial. We've got a lot of advice for you, networking tips, public speaking tips, and you could get on my website, shalomklein.com, to download podcasts from the program and find out who's going to be on next week. And as always, as I've been reminding you, get on the website, thebusinessevent.com, for our free business event on November 10th.
Hi.